Welcome, Healy family, to our What's Up Wednesday call. We are so glad to have you all here. We've got an incredible call for you. Just in case you guys don't know me, I'm Peter Christoph, your Managing Director of North America, and I'm really excited to be having this call with you guys today. Just to tease something that's going to happen a little later in the call, we're really excited about having product marketing specialist Kai Schulmeyer talking about and teaching the natural cycle. And this is something that we've been asking him to do for a while, and it's going to happen right here today on this call. Okay, so moving forward, we've got to go through you guys know that because this is a call for internal people, that if we talk about our devices and they're not to cure, treat, mitigate, diagnose, or prevent any disease, and when we talk about the earning opportunity, we do not guarantee that any income level will be guaranteed. Anyway, the disclaimers are always there. We are using translation today. So if at the bottom of your Zoom screen, you see the little globe, the little circular globe. When we go to Karla's talk and to Freddie's talk, the two of them are both going to be speaking in Spanish. So English speaking people among us, you're going to have to select translation and select English, and then everyone will be able to hear just fine. And if you're Spanish, now, while I'm speaking English, you would click on Espanol and French, Francais, and Mandarin. We have that for you available as well. Okay, this is such a fun time. We're starting fall. Can you believe that it's fall? I can't believe it. It's almost that time. In fact, yesterday I saw that one of the ski resorts in Utah got their first snow. That means winter is coming. And before We've been taking advantage of the weather while the weather was good to do some incredible events. And first, let me invite on to tell you about some of those incredible events, our sales manager for Canada, someone that I have grown to absolutely adore. Please welcome Megan Ranco.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you so much. I'm with you. I'm not really ready for fall, although I love the season up here in Canada. It is one of the most colorful seasons. It's absolutely stunning, and I'll be sure to share some gorgeous footage of this beautiful season as it comes in. It's rolling in a little slower this year, though, because it's actually still quite warm at 28 degrees Celsius this week. We've got some great pool weather. So that's high 80s Fahrenheit. So it's really, really great temperatures here. I wanted to just share first and foremost how incredible our event was just a couple weeks ago. So we kicked off September with our Healy Canada second year anniversary. It was a beautiful event hosted in Toronto. Incredible people came out. We had Peter, who joined us in Toronto as well, which is such a treat for everybody to get to meet Peter and myself in person, and more so for us to get to meet many of those who attended the event in person as well. So we had recognition, we had training, we had announcements, we had promotions. It was an incredible time, and it's the event we used to sort of kick off this fall season, launching into a roadshow. So we're doing our first local event, which is just a smaller scale event, this Sunday, September 22nd at L'Espace La Chapelle, up in Sainte-Adèle. So that's up north in the Laurentians in the Quebec province. It's a gorgeous area. I'm hosting the event alongside Jessica Humphreys and Stephanie Branrett, who are going to be there with us sharing all about Healy. So these are incredible events for everyone to take advantage of. If you're local, scan the QR code and register yourself to attend the event. We're talking about and igniting and sharing our passion for Healy at this event. We're also educating people and informing people who are new to the brand and to Healy. So we're looking for our members to come and join us on site, and definitely for them to bring guests and people who want to know more about Healy. We're going to be sharing, as I said, about the company, about the the devices, we have gifts, we have promotions, we have incredible things happening at this event. And certainly we're going to be having a lot of fun at this event. So are inviting as many people as possible to come out and share. If you can't be there in person, don't worry. I'm going to be there as well hosting, and so happy to host on your behalf any guests that you send my way. Please have them just say hi and introduce themselves and let me know that you sent them my way, and I will be so happy to host them at this event. This is the first of many. I'm putting out that message, and I've connected with so many of our builders across Canada as we're going to be adding dates and locations to take Healy across Canada this fall and help share and build together. So really excited to be able to support that in the next coming weeks and months throughout the fall in Canada. This is just one of the events we've had hosted. It is called America's event. So let me invite Judith Centeno, our sales manager from the US, with me to tell me all about her next events.
Thank you, Megan. I'm happy to be here with you. As you can see, I am not in Florida. I'm in Puerto Rico, in the beautiful Isla del Encanto, here to support one of our events from the Roadshow. So let's go to the same slide. So if you know or have family, do you have friends, contact here in Puerto Rico tonight. We're gonna have our great event here in San Juan, Puerto Rico. So we're gonna be sharing the business opportunity of Healy. That is a beautiful gift to share. We also gonna have training about the product. So you still have time to send a WhatsApp, to send a text message and invite people to this event. We're gonna be at 4 p.m. starting with training about Healy products. And then at 7 p.m., the business opportunity presentation. We also are gonna have leaders supporting this event. We have Roxana Lee from Mexico and Damaris Reyes here from Puerto Rico. And of course, I'm going to be your host. So Eva is going to put this flyer here in the chat so you can use it and invite family, friends, and anyone that want to join us tonight in Puerto Rico. So, but we don't end here. Next week, I don't know if you heard about this event, but if you didn't hear about it, let me tell you. We are going to have an event next week. It's going to be an event that is going to be held in Spanish, and it's called Encuentro Latino de la Oportunidad Healy, which means Latin Opportunity Healy World event. It's going to be next Tuesday, September 24th, and we're going to talk about the business opportunity in a very different and unique format. How is going to be this format? We're going to have conversations between two leaders. One is going to be an experienced leader, a vice president or director, and the other one is going to be an emerging leader, a senior team manager or an executive team manager. And they're going to talk about different subjects. We're going to have three duos of leaders talking about three subjects. The first theme is going to be about the business opportunity presentation, why it's important, why it's relevant to start a new business, and why Healy, why opportunity is so unique. And the second topic is about how Healy can impact and bring you health, wellness, and also financial benefits to your life. So we're going to see the opportunity through the eyes of those two leaders about the Healy opportunity, how support your wellness, and how support your finance. And the second topic is about how Healy impact your business as a therapist or a coach. So if you already have a business, how through Healy you can impact more people, more patients, and bring more health to more people around the world. And of course, have more Healy devices in every home in the US and Latin America. So who is invited to this event? Anyone that speaks Spanish, pretty much. In Canada, US, obviously Mexico, and Colombia. Here is the time, going to be 6 p.m. Monterrey time, 7 p.m. Eastern time, and Bogota, 8 p.m. 7 p.m. Central Time in Bogota, and 8 p.m. Eastern Time for the U.S. It's going to be a Zoom call. We're going to have some prizes for the people that bring more guests to this call. So we are very excited to have this for a Latino opportunity encounter next week. So there is the information in the flyer. Please join us. It's gonna be a great opportunity to present the business opportunity to a lot of people across the continent. Let's go to the next slide. Here, I want just to remind you how it's important to talk about Fast Start, to learn Fast Start, understand Fast Start, and help your new members to earn Fast Start. Because that way we are starting the business in the best way possible. We are starting earning a lot of money. We are also supporting people to achieve team manager and to prove that this business is not only the best business opportunity right now you can put your hands on, but it's also a very easy way to do it if we follow very basic steps like in Fast Start. So in this example that you are seeing right now, you can see how if you buy a Resonance Plus and a coil together, which today is the last day to be in 50% discount, and starting tomorrow is going to be 45. So this slide is with 45 because it's the information that you're going to have to work the rest of this month of September. So we're going to put this slide also in the chat so you have it. And you can use it for this month and support your group to earn faster. So it's over $3,000 US that you can make with Faster in the US. So we have it in English, in Spanish, with all the earnings and how you get to those earnings. So it's a very unique way and simple way to explain Faster to your group. So I hope that you can take advantage of this tool and make an amazing September in your business and supporting your new members in your organization. And we pass with the next slide to Peter.
Thank you, Judith. And you know what? Stressing the importance of Fast Start is just incredible. And you've done a wonderful job making it very simple on those documents. And I think that they're being put in the chat. So please use these. All right, have a wonderful meeting tonight in Puerto Rico. Okay, now the training that I told you about, let's hear from product marketing specialist Kai Schulmeyer to teach us about some incredible new aspects and training regarding one of our favorite program groups.
Hey, Healy World Family America. Greetings and welcome to our 2 days training about the natural cycle. And you may wonder now, why is this training taking place exactly today? And there's a very simple explanation to that. Because to start our natural cycle protocol, there are 8 major trigger dates where you can start your natural cycle protocol. One of these trigger dates is heading, which is Sunday the 22nd of September, because at 8:43 a.m. according to East Coast time, our new season, fall, is gonna start. And this represents one major trigger date. So, welcome again. Let's start with the training about the natural cycle. So an important key to holistic health is to reconnect with your natural energetic cycle. And we here on planet Earth, we constantly live under cosmic influences, such as from the solar cycle, the lunar cycle, and the daily cycle. So to give you a better understanding what these cycles are, let's look into these a little bit. We start with the lunar cycle, or also called the lunar month. And this is a period about roughly 29.5 days. This is the time the moon takes to orbit Earth and go through all its different phases. It starts with a new moon, and this is the phase when the moon is between Earth and Sun, and it isn't visible. When the moon moves, it progresses through the different phases, the waxing crescent, first quarter, which is our known half moon, the waxing gibbous, the full moon, and then it goes back with the waning gibbous, the last quarter, and the waning crescent. And this cycle then repeats, so it starts again with the new moon. And this cycle is very well known to us when, well, if even only subconsciously, because this is a cycle that also influences natural events like the tides, low tide and high tide. Let's proceed with the solar cycle. And this period is longer because it is approximately 11 years long, and during this period, the sun's magnetic activity fluctuates, including changes in sunspots and also solar flares. So the solar cycle has 2 main phases. the solar maximum, when magnetic activity peaks with numerous sunspots and solar storms, and the solar minimum, when the activity is low and sunspots are very few. And during each of these cycles, the sun's magnetic field reverses its polarity. So this cycle impacts space weather, affecting the satellites, GPS, and also power grids. Plus, it can enhance auroras. The daily cycle is pretty simple and very well known to each and every one of us, because this is a 24-hour period. So this is when the Earth completes one full rotation, causing the cycle of day and night. So also to align with these cycles is very important, because this comes also when you are disrupted with that, it comes with negative consequences for our holistic health, well-being, and vitality. So the natural cycle is a set of unique frequencies, programs designed to reconnect us with our innate sense of being in tune with nature. So the natural cycle is not only a module of our Heal Advisor app, it also comes with programs to support you in that process of realigning with your natural energetic cycle. Let's dive into this a little bit further. As a first step that we have to determine when we start our natural cycle protocol, the first thing we have to do is we have to determine where we are on this planet. Because certainly on different regions on this planet, there are gravitational forces that are varying throughout the globe. So the example I'm giving you for this is, for example, in Quito in Ecuador, which is near the equator and at a higher altitude, because this is about 2,850 meters above sea level. And there, the gravitational force is slightly weaker. And this is because you're farther from the Earth's center due to both the equatorial bulge and the altitude. But when we look to a different spot on this planet, let's say Helsinki in Finland, the gravitational forces are stronger because you're closer to the Earth's center. And this is also due to the flattening at the poles. So this is why it is very important to determine where we are for the natural cycle protocols. And for this very example of today, we are in New York in the United States. So in the next step, we have to identify our trigger dates. So we see here on the southern hemisphere, there are different trigger dates than on the right side where the northern hemisphere is displayed. Of course, this is because the seasons, they are different from the northern and the southern hemisphere. As I said, we are taking New York as our current location for this very example of a natural cycle protocol. And what we also have to pay attention to is the solstices and the equinoxes. So the 4 dates that we see on the left sides, they represent the major changes of the season, like the solstices and the equinoxes. So equinox and solstice are related, but they occur at different times of the year. So solstices are just to explain that a little bit deeper. Solstices are astronomical events that occur twice a year, as we can see here, marking the points when the sun reaches its highest or lowest position in the sky relative to the celestial equator. So the summer solstice around June 21st in the northern hemisphere and December 21st in the southern hemisphere is the longest day of the year with the most daylight hours. And conversely, the winter solstice around December 21st in the northern hemisphere and June 21st in the southern hemisphere is the shortest day of the year with the fewest daylight hours. So these solstices and equinoxes, they represent 4 of these major trigger dates, whereas the start of different seasons represent the other 4 major trigger dates. Let's also scratch on the surface what an equinox is to also give you a better understanding on that, because equinoxes are 2 astronomical events that happen also twice a year when the sun is directly above the Earth's equator, resulting in nearly equal day and night lengths everywhere on Earth. So the vernal equinox occurs around March 20th or 21st, marking the start of spring in the northern hemisphere and autumn in the southern hemisphere. So the autumnal equinox happens around September 22nd or 23rd, signaling the start of autumn in the northern hemisphere and spring in the southern hemisphere. The natural cycle module is also taking in consideration the phases of the moon to determine your natural cycle protocol. And for our example today, we choose a date that has taken place in the past, which was March 20th at 11:33 a.m. This is when spring started in 2022 in the city of New York. So the phase of the moon was back then, on March 20th, it was still considered a full moon phase because full moon took place on March 18th. So we can safely assume that on this point, we still had a full moon phase. So our today's example is New York City, USA for our location. And we start our natural cycle protocol on the March equinox, so the start of spring in 2022 that took place March 20th at 11:33 a.m. So let's look together into the natural cycle mechanics. So what is happening in the background? Because all of these next steps to determine which program would be the best for you to start your natural cycle program with, this is determined by the natural cycle module itself. So this is really nice to know for you, but rest assured, these next steps are being taken care of by the app. First, the app is determining the hour, which means that when we look at the oxidation and reduction chart between 11 and 1 p.m., the heart meridian is the most active, and 11:33 falls into this time segment. So we take into consideration the heart meridian. Next, the app is taking the date circle and puts it onto the oxidation and reduction chart to see where all these various trigger dates are. For us, it is 20th of March, and when we take a look at the chart, it is on large intestine. So we have not only the heart meridian that we take into consideration, we also take the large intestine meridian into consideration as well. Next up, we have to apply onto this chart the moon phase chart. So when we look around, we have the 4 major moon phases on here: the first quarter, new moon, last quarter, and full moon. So like I pointed out a little bit earlier, on March 18th in 2022, we had a full moon. So it is still safe to assume that the full moon phase still applies on March 20th. And when we look on the oxidation and reduction chart now, we see that the full moon phase is right between stomach and spleen pancreas. Now we have 4 meridians, and with that, 4 meridian programs that we can take into closer consideration, but only 1 or 2 can be our main program. So let's look how we can identify that one program of ours that would be most suitable to start our natural cycle protocol. To narrow our possible 4 programs down, the app is now trying to find a single vector, which means we are first applying an hour and a date vector to identify. So 11:33, that is between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m., which means it is still in the segment of the heart meridian. So there's a straight line that is identifying the hour that goes right into the center of the oxidation reduction chart. The date we have identified as March 20th, which is right there on the segment of large intestine. And when we look at it, there's now in the middle 1 straight vector. Next, we also have to apply the moon phase. And if we remember, the moon phase was between stomach and spleen pancreas. And with this, we have it. We have 2 main options according to our example, which is stomach or spleen pancreas activation program. So these are the programs which are most suitable for you, according to this example, to start the natural cycle with. And I repeat, these information that we spoke about during the last slides, this is nice to know, just in order to show you what technologies is behind the natural cycle module, but you don't have to remember this all that well. You don't have to put marks on your calendar when you have to do this or that, because all these steps are performed for you automatically in the Healy Advisor Natural Cycle module. And now let's also talk about how one of these frequency protocols may look alike. So a frequency session with a natural cycle is always made up of 2 parts, which is the activation part and the stabilization part. In the activation part, you run a frequency program which lasts for 18 minutes. And this is the activation program for the organ meridian that has been identified during the steps that I just showed you a couple of slides ago. And when we are done with our activation program, we can't forget to drink a glass of water to finish the application. So we are also getting reminded by the Heal Advisor app, by the Natural Cycle module, to drink water, because this is part of the frequency session with the Natural Cycle. After you finish the activation part, the stabilization part is up next. So we have 2 stabilization programs, both last for 30 minutes, one for the daily rhythm and one for the solar rhythm. So it is best to use daily stabilization for the first 4 weeks until you feel aligned with your daily cycle. Some indicators for this might be when you wake up well rested and refreshed in the morning, you can empty your bowels easily in the morning, and you can fall asleep easily at night. So, and after finishing the daily stabilization phase of 4 weeks, for example, you can switch to the solar stabilization phase. And here's a short overview of how one of these sessions may look like. So before we start our 18-minute long activation program, we have to take care of drinking 1 cup of water 30 minutes before we start the program, and another cup of water 15 minutes before we start the frequency session. So that means within 13 minutes before we start our 18-minute long activation program, we have to drink 2 cups of water each 15 minutes. So when we did that, we start our activation program of 18 minutes. And when we completed this, we drink another cup of water to complete the application. And then the stabilization program is up next, the daily stabilization. And after 4 weeks of feeling realigned, we can switch over to the solar stabilization program. So let's say we started with the spleen pancreas program. Certainly not every session will start then in the morning with activation spleen pancreas, because the natural cycle is a protocol. So it moves to the next organ meridian. And sometimes it happens that this meridian is most active in the middle of the night. Let's say the liver meridian, that is between 1 and 3 in the morning, or the lung organ meridian, which is between 3 and 5 in the morning. These programs may be skipped, and then you can just start with that activation program, which is the closest to the time that actually had been identified for you. And like I said, the next major trigger date is Sunday, the 22nd of September, 8:43 a.m. according to Eastern time. And until we get to that day, we can prepare our body. We can drink enough water and use the Pure program from the Gold Cycle program group twice a week. This can we do to really prepare our body a little bit for the natural cycle protocol. One more question: when to stop with our natural cycle protocol? So let's look at the Northern Hemisphere graphic we have here on the left side. So we can see on the right side, there's March 20th, when we have, according to our example, started our natural cycle protocol. So we can stop when we feel aligned again, but we can stop the next time on the next trigger date, which would be May 11th. And a couple of weeks later, when we do not really feel aligned with our natural energy cycle anymore, then we could start over again on June 21st and stop again on August 10th. And with all this being said, there's only one more thing I want to say. Thanks for attending our 2 days training about the Heal Advisor Natural Cycle module. And yeah, that's about it for our 2 days training about the Heal Advisor Natural Cycle module. I hope you enjoyed it just as much as I did today, and I really do also hope that all your questions about the natural cycle has been answered, and that you can now start your natural cycle protocol Sunday 22nd of September at 8:43 a.m. according to Eastern time with confidence. And in the meantime, I'm wishing you all the best. Take care. Bye-bye. Hey, Healy World Family America.
Thank you,
Greetings
Kai.
and
That
welcome
was
to our 2 days.
fantastic. And you know what? I'm actually running my 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. natural cycle right now. And I was good because I've been drinking my cups of water just like he recommended. I love these trainings because it gives us a chance to, to sort of learn more about what we're actually doing when we run a cycle. And which brings us to, we've got lots of exciting things going on in Healy Americas. And to tell you a little bit more about it, everyone's favorite, our head of operations, Jake Barron. Hi, Jake.
Thanks, Peter. Yes, and if you're looking for even more product training, we have something very special coming up for you next week on Monday, September 23rd, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. For the first time ever, we have Martin Wittmann, our Chief Product Officer, as a guest on Healy for Beginners and Beyond. So go ahead, you can scan this QR code that you see on the screen, or you can go to the link healyfbb.com, or you can go to our Healy Americas events calendar at healyamericasevents.com. All those will take you to the link to register for this special training. And we're going to be talking entirely on the Bach Flower Remedies database, which is part of the Resonance module in the Heal Advisor Analyze app. Martin has prepared a very special training, and we are excited to be able to share that with all of you next week on Monday. So go ahead, get registered, and we will see you then. Let's see, I think that's us. And back to you, Peter.
All right, we're going to transfer over to Karla Davalos-Estrada, our highly esteemed managing director of Healy Mexico. And Karla is going to be speaking in Spanish, so be sure to activate your translation. Welcome, Karla.
Gracias, Peter. Y sí, buenos días a todos en México, buenas tardes en Colombia y en Estados Unidos. Es un placer estar aquí el día de hoy con ustedes. Entonces, Peter, si me ayudas con la siguiente diapositiva, por favor. Pues bueno, yo vengo a platicar de dinero. ¿A quién le gustaría ganar un poquito más de dinero en estos últimos meses del año? ¿Quién quisiera tener una plata extra para poder estar preparada para esta gran temporada que viene de las festividades? Si bien septiembre ya empezamos a sentir el otoño y Kai nos habló justo de este cambio en las estaciones que vivimos aquí en el hemisferio norte y de alguna manera también obviamente en el hemisferio sur, en Colombia, pero quería yo recordarles que tenemos esta promoción de los bonos de avance de rango y de mantenimiento de rango. Entonces vamos a hacer un repaso. Vamos a empezar por la columna de la izquierda. Y esta columna de la izquierda nos habla de esos montos que ven ahí ustedes, es el bono que está vigente ahorita en el mes de septiembre y que pueden ganar si llegan a director por primera vez, 750 euros, un bono de 750 euros, un bono de 1,000 euros cuando llegan por primera vez a Senior Director, de 2,000 a Executive Director, pero si llegan a Executive Director durante los primeros meses de su carrera, pueden duplicar este bono. Quien llegue a vicepresidente se lleva 5,000 euros, vicepresidente senior 7,000 euros y nuestros vicepresidentes ejecutivos 10,000 euros. 10,000 euros que se duplican si hacen este rango en los primeros 12 meses a partir de que se registraron o se reclutaron en Healy. Ahora vamos a ir a ver si tú ya tienes algún título de director o superior, ¿sí? No importa cuándo lo hiciste, pero si ya tu career title, tu título, tu rango es de director hacia arriba, entonces, cuando tú mantienes tu rango de director, te ganas un bono de 750 euros, de 1,000 euros si lo mantienes al ser Senior Director, de 1,500 para los directores ejecutivos, 2,500 para nuestros vicepresidentes, 4,000 para nuestros vicepresidentes senior y 6,000 para nuestros vicepresidentes ejecutivos. Pero como queremos que todo mundo pueda participar, todos nuestros líderes y socios que ya tienen un título de director hacia arriba, pueden checar las condiciones porque incluso Si en este mes de septiembre, por alguna razón, quedaran hasta un nivel abajo de su título de carrera, podrían ganar el bono correspondiente a el rango inferior, siempre y cuando sea de director hacia arriba. Peter, ¿me ayudas con la siguiente diapositiva, por favor? Y ahora continuamos en español, no se cambien de canal, porque Freddy Oropesa, mi colega y amigo, country manager para Colombia, nos tiene toda la parte, un recordatorio de las promociones que están vigentes. Adelante, Freddy, bienvenido.
Muchísimas gracias, Karla. Y buenos días, México, y muy buenas tardes para todo el equipo de Colombia, Estados Unidos y Canadá. Para mí es un gran placer estar hoy aquí para compartir todo lo que tenemos en septiembre de promociones. Es mucha información, pero son promociones extraordinarias que no nos podemos perder porque nos ayudan, bien sea para nuestra vida o para nuestro negocio. Y vamos a comenzar con la primera de ellas. Tenemos 50% de descuento en 3 de nuestros módulos y esto casi nunca ocurre. Tenemos 50% de descuentos en el Natural Cycle, 50% de descuento en el Animal Module y 50% de descuento en el módulo de meridianos. Recuérdense todo lo que les acaba de decir Kai del módulo del ciclo natural. Este 22 de septiembre a las 8:43 empieza el otoño y arranca ya su aplicación, puede correrse el ciclo natural. Así que desde el 2 de septiembre, de inicio de mes, hasta el 30 de septiembre, es decir, hasta final de mes, estos 3 programas con el 50% de descuento para todos los países de América. Así que disfruten de esta promoción. Continuamos, ¿qué más tenemos? La siguiente promoción viene con lo más exclusivo que tenemos en la compañía. Yo siempre digo la cereza del pastel, nuestra joya, que es nuestro Healy Obsidiana. Para nuestro Healy Obsidiana, durante el mes de septiembre tenemos regalos increíbles que todas las personas que puedan comprar este producto van a recibir completamente gratis: el Natural Cycle, el Soul Cycle, el Personal Growth Database y el Animal Module como un regalo totalmente accesible para ellos. Así que adicional a comprar el Healy Obsidiana, usted obtiene todos estos regalos y ingresa a un club extraordinario y extremadamente exclusivo que es el VIP Obsidian Club, para que usted tenga beneficios únicos, sean los primeros en enterarse de todo, reciba capacitación y por supuesto la exclusividad de portar ese Healy Obsidiana y utilizarlo con todo lo que son los programas del círculo de energía, que les digo, están extraordinarios, uno mejor que otro. Durante el mes de septiembre, Healy Obsidiana con todos estos regalos. Ahora nos movemos a la siguiente promoción y esta es exclusiva para Estados Unidos y Canadá y quiero enfatizar lo siguiente. Hoy es el último día de esta promoción. Por favor, compártanlo con sus equipos. Si usted no lo sabía, entérese, díganle a toda su gente. Hoy es el último día de The Celebration Promotion. Y esta promoción que trae es el 50% en el Healy Resonance Plus. Y adicional, si usted compra este Resonance Plus con este 50%, puede comprar el Healy Coil también con el 50%. Esta promoción termina el día de hoy, así que no se lo pueden perder. O sea, comuníquenle a todas las personas porque es el último día con el 50% de esta promoción, solo para Estados Unidos y Canadá. Y continuamos porque a partir de mañana, y eso es importante por algo, hice el énfasis en la anterior, a partir de mañana cambia el Resonance Plus, pero ahora con un 45% de descuento. También se va a mantener ese maravilloso adicional que podrás comprar el Healy Coil con el 50%. Entonces, desde el 19 de septiembre, es decir, desde mañana hasta el 30 de septiembre, el Resonance Plus con un 45% de descuento y podrás comprar el Healy Coil también con un 50% adicional. Así que empieza a revisar si es importante que le comunique a todas las personas que hasta hoy es la promoción del 50%, porque a partir de mañana cambia. Y continuamos. Tenemos también para Estados Unidos y Canadá 2 promociones también maravillosas. Con nuestro Healy Resonance tenemos un descuento de un 30%, pero también el beneficio único de poder comprar el Healy Coil con el 50% de descuento. Y con nuestro poderoso, y a mí me encanta, el maravilloso Healy Professional, tenemos un descuento del 35% y van a recibir 2 regalos extraordinarios. Uno de ellos es el Healy Coil, una herramienta indispensable, y el segundo de ellos es el Personal Growth Database, totalmente gratis. Es decir, dos regalazos que no se pueden perder. Recuérdense, unas promociones exclusivas para Estados Unidos y Canadá que vencen el 30 de septiembre. Y bueno, continuamos. Y aquí ahora nos pasamos a la promoción B2B para todos nuestros miembros y socios. A mí estas promociones me encantan porque son herramientas que me ayudan al negocio. Voy a comenzar con la parte izquierda. Si usted refiere 2 personas durante el mes de septiembre que puedan enrolarse con una de las suscripciones de Elements Night and Duo durante 3 meses, una suscripción durante 3 meses, recuerden, deben ser 2 personas nuevas o miembros ya existentes que se suscriban durante 3 meses a Elements Morning and Night, van a recibir estos 3 regalazos. Uno, el Element Travel Case, que es extraordinario, espectacular. Uno lo ve y dice, lo quiero. El Element Travel Clutch, que también es un clutch súper útil, extraordinario, que vas a poder poner todos tus sobres de Elements, y adicional vas a poder recibir 30 sobres completamente llenos de Elements Night y Duo para que puedas hacer sampling o muestreo con todos tus clientes o, por qué no, con tus mismos socios. Luego ahora me voy a pasar a esta parte también que me encanta, es ¿qué puedes ganar refiriendo a nuevas personas, nuevos clientes o nuevos miembros al negocio? Si durante el mes de septiembre refieres a 2 nuevos clientes o miembros con un Healy Resonance o superior o cualquier edición de MagHealy, mira, te vas a poder ganar lo siguiente, y por favor, son herramientas muy importantes para el negocio. Si refieres a 2, te vas a ganar un Healy Resonance totalmente gratis. Pero si refieres a 3, la edición cambia a un Resonance Plus. Pero si refieres a 4, vas a recibir totalmente gratis un Healy Professional. Es decir, dispositivos que, brindando la oportunidad a personas que hagan este negocio o que sean clientes que se beneficien de nuestros productos, reciben una herramienta extraordinaria para que puedas hacer demostraciones de tu negocio y poder duplicar todo lo que normalmente haces. Y hasta el día de hoy, que también quiero enfatizarlo, es solo hasta hoy, nuestro acelerador, eso que tenemos que hacerlo rápidamente los primeros días del mes. Si tú enrolas o vinculas a 2 personas, también con un Resonance o superior o con un MagHealy clásico, un MagHealy Professional, vas a ganar, por supuesto, el programa de prosperidad. Y si haces 3, vas a ganar el programa de prosperidad y de paz interior. Así que esto es hasta el día de hoy. Y para todos nuestros team managers traemos algo extraordinario en el mes de septiembre. Si tú logras por primera vez el rango de team manager, vas a recibir completamente gratis el Business Suite Sharer Bundle por un mes. Un programa que te va a ayudar con tu negocio para que puedas desarrollarlo. Pero si tú no logras el rango de Team Manager, sino el de Senior Team Manager, recibes el Business Suite Builder Bundle también por un mes totalmente gratis. Pero si logras el rango de Executive Team Manager, vas a recibir el paquete completo del Business Suite Leader Bundle por 2 meses. Así que es el mes con todas las herramientas que tenemos de poder hacer la decisión de poder convertirte en Team Manager. Y para todas esas personas que ya son Team Manager ejecutivos o Executive Team Manager, si ustedes logran su título pagado nuevamente durante el mes de septiembre, van a recibir también el Business Suite Leader por 2 meses totalmente gratis. Entonces son herramientas para el negocio súper útiles, así que aprovechenlas, están disponibles para todos los países de América. Avanzamos, vamos a la siguiente lámina. Si me ayudan con el siguiente slide. Aquí está. Y esto es para todos los países de América. También hoy es el último día de esta promoción. Al comprar el MagHealy Classic con 40% de descuento, usted hoy va a recibir totalmente gratis 3 meses de nuestra popular aplicación McMakin. Así que hoy es el último día. Empieza a decirle con todos sus equipos, ¿con quién tenemos que contactar hoy? A todas las personas que estuvieron interesadas en el Resonance Plus, cualquiera de las personas que estuvieron interesadas en el MagHealy Classic, todas las promociones que cierran hoy, recuérdense a movernos rápidamente para poder contactar a esas personas y que no se pierdan de la promoción. Y continuamos. Y esto también es maravilloso. Si usted se suscribe durante el mes de septiembre con el Business Suite Leader Bundle, usted va a recibir en octubre un regalazo. Y el regalazo es el programa inédito que aún no hemos lanzado, lo tenemos guardadito, que es el Business Program Module para el MagHealy totalmente gratis. Así que a realizar esa suscripción en Colombia, la compra para poder recibir ese programa totalmente gratis en el MagHealy y que sea usted uno de los primeros en recibirlo y decir, wow, funciona de una manera espectacular y usted sea el exclusivo en tenerlo primero que nadie en toda América. Y continuamos. Me ayudan con el siguiente slide. Y ahora sí, esta promoción es para exclusivamente México y Colombia. Tenemos el Resonance Plus a un precio espectacular, un precio único. En pesos mexicanos en 29,999 y en pesos colombianos a 6,999,999. Un precio espectacular. Y usted al comprar el Resonance Plus a este precio que está espectacular, va a poder comprar el Healy Coil con el 50% de descuento. Un producto maravilloso con una oferta extraordinaria que cierra el 30 de septiembre del 2024. Y continuamos. También para México y Colombia, último día de la promoción Latam Vibrando. Hoy es el último día, equipo de México y de Colombia, de esta promoción con el Healy Professional al 35%. Y si yo llevo el Healy Professional al 35%, voy a recibir totalmente gratis el Healy Coil, el Soul Cycle y el Personal Growth Database para todas esas personas que lo adquieran. Recuérdense, hoy último día, a revisar esa agenda a todas las personas que aún no hemos cerrado, a llamar, a realizar reuniones para no perder esta promoción, que hoy es el último día que la tenemos vigente. Continuamos. Y ahora esto es exclusivamente para México. Si usted se suscribe con Elements mañana y noche, morning and night, durante el mes de septiembre usted va a recibir totalmente gratis este travel case, como les dije, que es maravilloso. Así que México, no se pierda esta suscripción para recibir el travel case, que es único y usted tiene que tener sus elements ahí guardados para, por supuesto, presumir con todas las personas y hacer un punto de contacto y poder conversar acerca de este extraordinario producto que llegó hace muy reciente a nuestro portafolio. Y bueno, ya estamos casi llegando al final. Vamos con la siguiente lámina porque, a ver si me ayudan, ahí está. Este mes, súper importante, no dejemos todo para el último momento. El 30 de septiembre a las 7:59 Eastern Time, 6:59 PM hora Colombia, 5:59 PM hora México y 4:59 hora del Pacífico, cerraremos nuestro mes. Así que planifíquese, todavía tenemos una semanita y un poquito más para el cierre del mes. No deje todo para última hora, planifique, organice sus rangos, vea cuántos QB lleva, cuántos PSB lleva, absolutamente toda la planificación para que desde ya, en los días que quedan del cierre de mes, estratégicamente haga sus reuniones, cierre sus rangos, porque no podemos, como decía Karla, perdernos esos bonos extraordinarios para directores y vicepresidentes, así que tienen todavía tiempo para planificar sus estrategias y obtener ese cierre de mes increíble. Y bueno, y la invitación que les quiero hacer ahora es para nuestro próximo Frequency and Friends, que va a ser el próximo 1 de octubre. Pronto les estaremos dando las horas exactas en cada uno de los países, así que no se lo pierdan, pero desde ya vaya a su calendario, reserve la fecha, márquela en la nevera, en su celular, en su tablet, en donde usted sea, marque esa fecha y resérvela exclusivamente, porque ahí vamos a compartir con ustedes todo lo que viene para octubre, que también está extraordinario. Y bueno, con esto yo termino mi participación. Back to you, Peter. Thank you.
Thank you, Freddie. And oh my gosh, if I could just bottle his energy. Freddie is just incredible. Such incredible promotions for this month. We're getting ready to sign off, but I wanted to hit on a couple of things. I wanted to give you 5 things to leave this call with. Number 1, be a product of the product. Do trainings, learn more about your device, learn more how it works, learn how it can be better for you so that you develop your personal testimonial, because your personal testimonial is so important in talking to other people about what the Healy device has done to bring balance and to bring harmony to you and your life. So be a product of the product. Number 2, attend or hold events or presentations. You heard about events that are going on in Puerto Rico tonight, coming up in Canada. Mexico has more roadshow events, and you're going to be hearing more in the next week or two. Attend those Healy events and bring someone with you. And if you're not anywhere near where the events are, please feel free to hold your own event, or just hold presentations. And whether you're talking about the product or the opportunity, being able to present and share Healy with your testimonials is a powerful tool to building a business. Number 3, if you're going to talk to people, or if you're going to hold presentations, you need to learn and practice how to invite people. Get with your upline or your mentor or anyone in your Healy family. I've never seen anyone not willing to help, and talk about the best way to invite people where they don't feel that all you want to do is sell them on something. It's really important that you learn how to invite and practice this so that you become better at it, because the better you are, the more invitations turn out as a yes. And the more invitations that turn out with a yes makes more success for you. So learn how to invite. Number 4, simplify everything. You probably have noticed that we're on a mission to simplify the devices, to simplify the bonuses, to simplify the compensation plan. We're giving you one-pagers to simplify Fast Start, to be able to just simply explain it to someone. This is really important, because as we simplify things, and then we'll go on to number 5, we want you to use your tools. Your tools are Fast Start. Your tools are all the incredible promos that both Karla and Freddie talked to us all about. Use your tools, and don't forget ever, and this is my favorite little hashtag, the opportunity is our best product. TOIOBP. The opportunity is our best product. And don't forget, as you're using your tools, as you're inviting people, as you're talking to, presenting, and bringing them to meetings, don't forget to talk about how powerful our Healy opportunity is, because it has the ability to change the lives of thousands of people for generations to come. Thank you all for listening. Wishing you a prosperous and successful week, and we will talk to you soon.